You ever buy a house because you're dreaming of peace, only to find yourself caught in a war? Yeah, well, buckle up, because I thought my biggest problem would be raccoons in the attic, not a full-blown suburban turf war with a power-hungry HOA queen pin. I mean, I left behind crime scenes for this. I wanted slow mornings and the smell of pine, not police reports and psychodrama. You know what I mean? So picture this: late autumn, leaves copper red, air thick with firewood and rain. That's when I closed on this secluded place in Northern Virginia, a stubborn old house from the 50s, standing guard over 12 acres of hilly woods. The driveway snaked up from the road, and I swapped out the rickety gate for solid steel my first week. Place had thick walls, deep porch, and windows gazing down into the valley. Straight across from Silver Bluffs, this newer, luxury development where the houses looked cloned and the lawns could double as putting greens. I was done with courtrooms, bloodstains, all of it. Just wanted the kind of quiet you can breathe in, the kind that doesn't come with flashing lights and sirens. My routine? Wake up slow, coffee on the porch, listening to the wind comb through the pines. Evenings, the sunlight would crawl down those hills and make the Silver Bluffs houses across the way glow like lanterns. For a while it felt perfect, until about 2 months in, when I find this glossy HOA brochure wedged under my gate latch. At first, I laugh: rules for mailbox paint, exact garbage bin heights, lawn ornaments. My favorite? Holiday lights, must be white, no more than 30 feet per house. Good luck getting the spirit of Christmas to fit in that box. I toss it, thinking, hey, not my circus, not my HOA. 2 days later, I'm tightening a porch rail, and here she comes, Karen Lomax. Mid-40s, sharp blonde bob, sunglasses so big I could see my reflection, yoga pants more expensive than my old truck, marching up to my gate like she's come to reclaim her kingdom. Doesn't even say hello, just flashes this fake sweet smile, one I recognize from years of interrogations. You must be the new resident. I'm Karen Lomax, president of the Silver Bluffs HOA. Just wanted to say it's nice you're fixing up our old property. I wiped my hands, tried not to laugh. Your property? I think you've got the wrong house. This isn't part of Silver Bluffs. I checked every record before I bought it. She smiles wider, but her eyes get narrow. Technically, it's always been part of Silver Bluffs, historically speaking. We'd love to reinstate your property on our registry. It's better for everyone. I cut her off. Not happening. I have legal documents to prove it. Karen tilts her head, voice getting syrupy but sharp. Sometimes records get messy. We can fix that for you. I'll have my office update the registry. At that moment, I realized this wasn't just nosiness. This was someone who'd never met a no she couldn't bulldoze. No thanks, I said, leaning on my gate. Nothing to fix. This is my land. End of story. Her lips curled into something between a smile and a threat. We'll see. She turned on her heel, climbed into her sparkling SUV, and drove off. And I just had this gut feeling. That was not the last I'd see of Karen Lomax. That night, as I watched the lights of Silver Bluffs wink on in the distance, my peaceful woods started to feel less like a retreat and more like a battleground, with Karen up there in her glass tower, planning her next move. The quiet after that wasn't peaceful. It was the kind of quiet that lets you know someone's holding their breath, just waiting for you to slip. First weird thing, at the post office, the clerk hands me a package and asks, "You're on the Lomax property, right?" I frown, tell him, "No, it's mine." Drake, not Lomax. He just shrugs, gives me this look like I'm in on some joke I don't get. Next, I run into Joe, the local doc, outside the hardware store. He leans in, kind of awkward. "Is it true you're renting that place?" Karen says you're just taking care of it until she finishes some paperwork. I laugh, probably too loud. Renting? I bought it. Full title. She actually said that. He nods. Just figured you'd want to know. Back home, my mailbox is jammed with HOA letters addressed to Karen as property owner. Subtle, huh? She's rewriting reality, one pamphlet at a time. I took a photo for evidence, chucked the pile in a drawer, and decided, yeah, I need to get ahead of this. Called the county property office, asked them to flag any activity on my parcel. The clerk hesitated when I said Karen's name. Turns out there'd been a request to update my property's records, filed by Northridge Land Survey. Never heard of him. The request lists Karen Lomax as applicant. She said the details didn't add up, so it's on hold for review. And just like that, I knew this wasn't some misunderstanding. This was a territory game. Karen was trying to annex my house, one fake document at a time. I felt something wake up inside me, a stubbornness I thought I left behind, when I left law enforcement. Next day, Karen's SUV's parked at the edge of her development, angled for the best view of my gate. She sits there staring until I come outside. I stand, arms crossed, until she finally drives away. Later that week, I come home to find two landscapers mowing my front yard, their truck bearing the Silver Bluffs HOA logo, blocking my drive. "Hey, who told you to do this?" The older guy shrugs. "We're here on Mrs. Lomax's orders. She wanted the property to meet HOA standards." I filmed them, told them to leave fast or I'd call the cops. They packed up, muttering about how she didn't say it wasn't hers. And then 3 big signs on my gate: private property, members only, Silver Bluffs HOA. I yanked them down, took more pictures for my folder, and set up extra security cameras and floodlights. Call me paranoid, I call it prepared. Next morning, a hand-delivered letter, Silver Bluffs letterhead, addressed to resident. I'm in violation of community standards for unauthorized modifications and failing to maintain uniform aesthetics. Threat of fines if I don't rectify infractions in 30 days. I almost spit out my coffee. Fines? For not belonging to their HOA? I called Karen. She answered like butter wouldn't melt. "Eric, I assume you got our notice." "Oh, I got something," I said. "Your landscapers trespassed. Your signs are on my land. Next time you pull this, law enforcement gets involved." She tries to sound reasonable. "Eric, this doesn't need to be hostile. We're trying to bring your home up to our community standards." I couldn't help but laugh, bitter as hell. "I don't belong to your community. Not legally, not ever. The only standard here is my patience, and you're running out of it." And I hung up. That night, I double-checked the locks, scanned the camera footage. Just trees waving in the moonlight, my own nerves humming. But I knew this was about to get uglier. Sure enough, a couple mornings later, there's a knock at my door. 2 county deputies, hands by their holsters, cruiser idling in my drive. "Mr. Drake, we got a call about a potentially dangerous individual residing here without permission." I bit my tongue. Let me guess, Karen Lomax made the call. They just look at each other. I show them my deed, my title, the county records, my name, no HOA, not renting, not squatting. I even hand them a flash drive of security clips showing Karen's trespassers. "Keep this in the report," I say. "This won't be the last time." Down at the county office, the property clerk sighs when I ask about new filings. "Yeah, we had a submission trying to update the owner's name to Karen Lomax. Flagged it, came from a Northridge land survey." She hands me a copy. Karen's listed as primary owner, me as property manager. The audacity, I ask her to flag every doc with Karen's name and send me copies for my own trail. That's when the real harassment began. Handwritten notes. "You're not welcome here. This property belongs to Silver Bluffs. Leave while you still can." Another police call, this one claiming I'm a paranoid armed man threatening neighbors. Same deputy, he's tired of it too. I show him footage of me, cleaning tools and sipping coffee. "We have to check every call," he says, "but it's wearing on both of us." I called my attorney, Linda Cross. She's no nonsense, old school, sharp as a scalpel. She tells me, "Document everything. Stay cool, but build your case. These people crumble under evidence. I'll draft a cease and desist." Next morning, I watch from my porch as a courier hands Karen the letter. She just smirks, crumples it, tosses it in the trash. That's when I realized, Karen isn't just stubborn, she's unhinged. A few days later, another amended record arrives at my house. Karen listed as primary, me as occupant. Not just delusion now, but calculated fraud. Down to the county office again. Turns out Northridge Land Survey doesn't exist, and the surveyor, who filed the digital doc, died 3 years ago. She's forging records with names from the obits. My skin crawls. She escalates online, posts on Facebook about a drifter squatting on Silver Bluffs property. Neighbors show me screenshots over coffee. Half the town's starting to wonder. I give Linda everything. "This is fraud and defamation now," she says. "Time to hit back hard." And then, twist time, my security cam catches someone else, taller than Karen, hoodie up, spray painting "Get Out, Fraud" in red on my fence at 2 a.m. Sheriff's deputy recognizes the handwriting, Karen's husband. Turns out this circus is a family act. It all comes to a head when I get home one Saturday, and my gate's wide open. Karen's in my yard, leading a group of strangers, clipboards, realtor mode, acting like she's giving a tour of her own property. "These are potential renters," she says, sugary as poison. "I'm handling the legal paperwork. That's it for me. I call 911 on speaker in front of everyone. Intruder and trespassers, broken lock, need officers. The renters scatter. Karen flips out, yells I'm the squatter. Deputies show up. I hand them all my documents and footage. Karen tries to argue, screams, shoves a deputy, reaches for his radio. They cuff her, drive her away, and the quiet after is almost deafening. You'd think that'd be the end, nope. Next day she's out on bail, hits me with a lawsuit for illegal occupancy, emotional distress, and threats. My lawyer nearly laughs. This'll get thrown out in 5 seconds. But she wants to bleed you dry with nonsense. But Linda's going on the offensive, trespassing, fraud, harassment, damages. Even the HOA's turning. Todd, the board guy, confides. Most of us are fed up. Nobody expected her to go this far. That's when I knew she's losing control. But as I'm laying out my evidence for court, I find that late-night spray painting wasn't a one-off. The whole family's in on it. Court hearing day, Karen's in white, lawyer at her side, still wearing that smug look. Her attorney tries to paint her as a concerned leader misled by bad records. Linda slices through it, my deed, the fraudulent docs traced to Karen's Wi-Fi. Judge is not impressed, denies her ownership, and opens a criminal investigation into her fake filings. That's when Karen's eyes finally flicker with panic. The DA gets involved, subpoenas records, digital forensics tie every submission to Karen's devices. Neighbors start to apologize. Joe stops by. Guess I owe you a beer. Looks like you're the one still standing. Silver Bluffs votes to strip Karen of her presidency. She has a meltdown, throws a chair, police called again. The sheriff himself shows up at my door, tells me Karen's finally getting psychiatric help. She's a danger to herself and others. You'd expect to feel victorious, but all I felt was wrung out, bone-tired. I loved this house, but every corner reminded me of chaos, her voice echoing in my head, those headlights at midnight, the words scrawled in red. A few weeks later, I put the place up for sale. It sold quick. I didn't look back. Now, I live near a wildlife reserve, no HOA for miles. The quiet is real, the only rules written by the wind. Before I left, I hung a wooden sign on the old gate. Sometimes the most dangerous thing is an idea nobody bothers to question. Last time I drove through Silver Bluffs, I saw her old house quiet, blinds drawn, neighbors glancing at me, some guilty, some relieved. So here's my question for you. When does enforcing the rules become tyranny? When does community cross the line into madness? Share your take below. Let's talk about where justice starts and ends, and maybe, just maybe, how we can keep a little sanity in this crazy world. If you've ever tangled with an HOA, or know someone who has, drop your wildest story in the comments. Let's keep these suburban tyrants in check, together. And hey, thanks for listening to my story. Sometimes the only way out of a nightmare is to shine a light on it, so others can see the way too.